Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today we're going to be doing a video about Luckin Coffee. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. So today we're going to be doing a video about Luckin Coffee, and the biggest question is right now a good time to invest in Luckin Coffee? As you guys have seen, Luckin Coffee the last 5 days has done absolutely amazing. Currently up 133% the last week. This thing was kind of trading sideways for a little bit if you guys weren't really taking a look or paying attention. I do have a short position in Luckin Coffee. I don't hold a short position. I hold a small position in Luckin Coffee. I have about 1,000 shares because I do feel that Luckin Coffee still does have the potential for a turnaround story. And I feel like since Luckin Coffee, is still real, the stores are real and they're still selling coffee every single day. I like their overall business model, branding itself as the Starbucks of China, trying to expand and grow as fast as possible. It makes investors wonder, is now a good time to buy Luckin Coffee stock? $9.42. Is it risky? Just know, guys, every stock you invest in has some sort of risk in it. It doesn't matter if it's Luckin Coffee or it doesn't matter if it's Microsoft. They're all the same. Every stock is a risk. But just know this, the reason why I'm bullish on Luckin Coffee is because I think companies can recover from fraud. I've said this time and time again, there's a lot of companies that commit fraud all the time that have been caught. Wells Fargo, General Electric, Waste Management. And it makes people wonder, Luckin Coffee is no different in this situation. They committed fraud. Yes, it's not okay to commit fraud. If you guys don't know the story about Luckin Coffee, basically they were fabricating sales. Although the amount has not been disclosed, it is rumored to be about $300 million in retail sales. Like I said, Luckin Coffee hasn't admitted or denied the fraud just yet. I think they're still kind of just trying to keep the brand name clean a little bit by not admitting to actually doing fraud. But it leads investors to wonder, is now a good time to buy Luckin Coffee? Is this Luckin Coffee's turnaround story? I just want people to know the reason why the stock rallies is because they finally paid out a fine to the SEC, $180 million, basically to settle the accounting fraud charges. And, it made people kind of a little bit more bullish on the stock. A lot of people who invested in Luckin Coffee or are invested in Luckin Coffee never really gave up on the stock itself. I think overall they're still pretty bullish about Luckin Coffee. And you have to understand, fraud or no fraud, fabricating sales, whatever the case, people still love to drink coffee. People are still going to go drink coffee. Take, for example, Starbucks. If Starbucks was fabricating a lot of their sales, yes, it would not be good. Yes, it would probably go through the same thing that Luckin Coffee went through. But nonetheless, I would still wake up every single morning and stop by Starbucks and get my cup of coffee. I like coffee. I like to stop by and drink coffee every single morning. So looking at it from that bigger perspective, Luckin Coffee is a huge coffee chain based out of China, right? They have 6,000 plus stores. I mean, people love coffee. People are always going to drink coffee, despite nonetheless, even though Luckin Coffee did commit fraud, which is not okay. The stores are still up and the stores are still running. They're still selling coffee. They're still in business. And what also makes me super bullish about Luckin Coffee, aside from them actually being in business, is they're doing everything in their power to make sure that they can actually have a turnaround story. Like, they swept the management, right? They got rid of all the bad seeds, basically who were fabricating a lot of the sales. They're paying out their fines. They went through a whole delisting hearing as well. Now currently trading on over the counter, which is why you cannot access Luckin Coffee shares on brokerages like Robinhood and Webull. But overall, another reason why I'm still pretty bullish is because, Luckin Coffee still has a lot of cash on hand, which, for me, it makes me super bullish only due to the simple fact that Luckin Coffee can still expand and they still have that trajectory of growth if they still play their cards right and they just basically don't fabricate any more of their sales. Luckin Coffee still can grow. Luckin Coffee can still expand and it can be a huge turnaround story. It can still be the biggest coffee chain in China. I want people to realize that, yes, the brand is tarnished. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say, Luckin Coffee is okay after everything. They fabricated some sales, so people are going to look at it the same. No, it's going to be a lot more difficult for investors to trust the stock again. There's a lot of people who lost a lot of money on Luckin Coffee stock. Even big time investors, guys like Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, were all invested in Luckin Coffee. I mean, this thing was basically a huge growth story. I mean, looking at the 1 year chart, this thing was basically trading at $50 a share, right? And people also ask, do you think Luckin Coffee will one day return to $50 a share? For me, I have to see not only how Luckin Coffee continues to handle the situation here, how they continue to clean the brand name. Basically, how are they going to settle the fines? Are they going to get relisted on the NASDAQ? And the reason I say this is because generally speaking, over-the-counter stocks have a lot less volume than the New York Stock Exchange, because not every single brokerage out there offers access to over-the-counter stocks, but every brokerage does offer basically every stock on the New York Stock Exchange, which generally leaves Luckin Coffee with a little bit less volume. If it can go through the process of getting relisted, it's going to look very good for the company in itself. But the reason I think Luckin Coffee does have a chance of recovery is because, they're doing everything in their power to make sure that, they're doing things right. They're paying out their fines. They're paying out their dues. Is Luckin Coffee out of the woods yet? No, I don't think so. They're probably still going to have to pay a little bit more fines. Some people have been talking about liquidating assets and stuff like that. But for me, I'm not really worried. This is how it always goes with fraud and stuff like that. Most people will usually just pay out fines. And, Luckin Coffee did not announce bankruptcy. So that means, the company is still here, right? The company did not go anywhere. The stores are confirmed real, the 6,000 plus stores. All I really want to see from Luckin Coffee is really just updated financials. I want to see how the company is doing. Now, with over-the-counter, it's not like the New York Stock Exchange where they require people to post or companies to post earnings every quarter or so. On over-the-counter, they're basically reluctant to basically post earnings whenever they feel like. And this is the biggest thing. I want to take a look at Luckin Coffee's earnings because although they do have updated financials, they have not been released to the public. So no one really knows how the company is actually doing. And this is a big thing when you're investing in a company. When you invest in a company, I'm not saying you have to invest in every single company has to be profitable, but I want to see how Luckin Coffee was doing before the fraud. I want to see, okay, take a look at their financials. Like, was the company realistically making money? Were they close to making money? Looking at their previous financials compared to their newer financials, was the company growing in the right direction? And this is what a lot of investors are actually still waiting for before they probably even touch Luckin Coffee. Even for me, I always take a huge dive into financials. It's actually super important when it comes to the company in itself because you want companies to be headed in the right direction. And like I said, even though the company wasn't profitable, I want to see were their earnings significantly getting better over time? I'm invested in companies right now that currently aren't profitable. I hold a lot of airline and cruise stocks, and all of them are not profitable at all. But I know, just due to the simple reason of the pandemic, that they're not doing well. But eventually, airlines, cruises are never going to go away. So, eventually they'll be profitable again. Luckin Coffee needs to release updated financials so people can actually see how the company was doing. And another thing I feel like they need to really do is really keep investors up in the loop and really how are they handling the situation? A lot of people really, really want to know what's going on with Luckin Coffee. A lot of investors have been left out of the loop. There's not much news updates on Luckin Coffee. I check periodically and I try to read basically into the news of, any updates on Luckin Coffee every so often. I haven't posted a video in a bit on Luckin Coffee, aside from the last couple weeks, just due to the simple fact that there hasn't really been much news that's been flowing around about Luckin Coffee. I've always been bullish on Luckin Coffee. I've made videos in the past on why I'm bullish on Luckin Coffee, but it leads people to ask, is Luckin Coffee stock a buy at $9.42? Obviously, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. But for me, I would actually take the chance and invest in Luckin Coffee at $9.42. I mean, that's just me. And the reason I say this is because I do believe that Luckin Coffee is going to have a turnaround story. Like I said, coffee is a huge thing. Coffee is never going to go away. Luckin Coffee is still trying to grow. It's still trying to clear its brand name. The biggest focus Luckin Coffee can do right now is updated financials, keeping investors in the loop about what's really going on with the company, and just being transparent. How are they actually handling the situation? Luckin Coffee, I think, is going to have a pretty good turnaround story. I really hope that Luckin Coffee does turn itself around. It's a shame that, the company that basically branded itself as the Starbucks of China really had to go and fabricate a lot of their sales. It's really, really sad, but, I'm still bullish on it. Obviously, like I said, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, but take the opportunity, guys. Take a look and see if you guys think Luckin Coffee is worth the investment. For me, I've said this time and time again. I've always thought Luckin Coffee is worth the investment. I think Luckin Coffee is going to go up from here. I don't know. There's no definitive timeline on when Luckin Coffee is actually going to make a full-on recovery. But for me, I'm patient. I know when it comes to investing, people should be patient as well. That's all investing is really just having a very good opinion about a stock and why people should invest in it, and then just being super patient with it. For me, I have Luckin Coffee in my Roth IRA. It's my retirement account because overall, I know maybe in 10, 15 years, the company could actually be a lot bigger than it is now. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of Luckin Coffee stock. Do you think Luckin Coffee stock is going to make that turnaround? If you guys own Luckin Coffee stock, how many shares you guys own? What's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.